feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, we gotta lock it up. I feel like I'm gonna come out on top because I know how to dig down deep.
Welcome to BodyWork.
Hey, Mike.
What's going on?
Nothing too much, man.
Man, you know I had to call you on this one. We can't forsake the boxing gods since they have not forsaken us. Man, I hear Bud said come out July 29th. He gonna fry some fish. And then Errol said come out, show support, and you gonna see a one-sided ass whooping.
Yeah, I had just sent you a text on that.
Yeah, so how you feel? I mean, is it, because we've been down. I know we got trust issues. We do have some trust issues.
What, the fight is on. The only thing that can side rail this right now is maybe an injury or something like that. But it looks like this is going to be for real. You got both camps putting out videos. So to me, that's a confirmation. That's just as good in my eyesight as a press conference. I'm good with that. Yeah,
and I like I like the imagery that Bud had, and how it looked pretty clear. It was good. It was one take material. I ain't see no flaws in it. I got the message. It was catchy. But then I see Errol and his. You got to see Errol because sometimes people be talking about the weight and stuff, but the fact that he's rolling it out through his ladies channel, you know what I'm saying? So they both doing some self-promoting, and it's a good look, especially after that Tank Ryan fight and how they promoted it and what's going on, because it is the biggest, most anticipated fight, I would say, since, what was it, Floyd? Would you say Floyd Pacquiao? Yeah.
Or
if you see somebody else, I mean, I just threw that out there. I don't know.
Yeah. That's close. That's close enough. Yep, that's close enough.
So we finally get it, man. Well, it's no more guessing. It's no more hooping. People have already been going crazy. And before I could even get the video out, I said, man, because, I like to wait for the confirmation. And, I don't have to be first with it. I just like to sit back and let things unfold because stuff changed so fast. But I had already started doing my CompuBox. And I was looking at the CompuBox categorical leader stats. And I was going to do this last night, but I said, you know what? I'll just wait, let it marinate. Because I really wanted to hear, and I got to hear from both of them. So patience is a virtue. But in this category, Spence, and these are the top 10, so this is throughout the weight classes. Spence, he's ranked 9th in the average jabs per round. So that's just like, okay, 9th as far as activity. So that's that. Bud wasn't there. But when I look at Bud at 46.2%, and he's 4th, and Errol at 45.4%, and he's 10th in power punch connect percentages. And that's the category where Tank is number 1. So we got 46.2 and 45.4. That's very, very close. Very, very close.
Yeah, it is. That's very close.
Less than 2%, but that's 4th and 10th in favor of Bud and Errol. And then Bud opponents' total punches, fewest landed per round. Bud is number 7. He's at 7.5, and he's number 7. Andre number 1 Regis closing it out at number 10, which is a startling statistic about Regis because I think his defense is underrated. But nevertheless, that was Bud. Errol wasn't there. Bud opponent's power punch lowest connect percentages, 26.2. He's number 8. Shakur is number 1 in that category. And they had, I don't know how accurate it was because they got Tevin Farm on there at number 10. So I don't even know. Hadn't seen him active, but not to get away from it. Bud was there. So statistically wise, you know, what I gather from all of that is that these statistics speak to the key to this fight being work rate. You know, whoever fights at their dictated pace. And I'm man down, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to lay those statistics out there for you, and at the end of this I'll tell you about my new product.
Okay. One thing, Errol wasn't gonna be at the top of the list on punches, you know, being hit with, because he's willing to stand in there and take your shot to deliver his shot. So he's not a counter puncher in the sense of him being hard to hit.
Right.
Because he's gonna be right there. And he really wants you to exchange with him. So, you know, he's gonna stay within punching distance. So, and unless you hurt him or something, he don't back up a lot. So some of those stats, when you look at them, you know what I mean? They look good when you know, analyzing both fighters. But one fighter doesn't prepare himself to be high on that particular list because that's not his style of fight.
Right.
And see, what I think gonna happen is Crawford always in a fight wants to try to go toe to toe. If he goes toe to toe with Errol, the only way he could have success is if he's able to hurt Errol. If he's going toe to toe to get punches in, but he's not delivering the type of punches that will slow Errol down, that could be a deficit for him because he could get hurt himself. And Errol is a punisher. Errol, if he tries to fight Errol like that, I think his face will look just like Ugar's face because he's gonna get hit.
Yeah, everybody's been talking about, you know, the eye collector. You know, I also say that he's, I call him Mr. Rib Eye because he'll crack your ribs or your orbital or both.
Yeah.
You know, so I got into the categorical statistical leaders, but I was gonna break down the welterweight, but this was just a precursor to the fight, introduction to the conversation around this fight. I've already seen, like, the last couple of days been a lot of emotional fans because if you think about it, Bud fans was really quiet. They had been real quiet. It's like they just came back out of nowhere, like all of a sudden, like they're everywhere now. And so I was letting you know that I have a new product. The Bud Fans Protection Plans, man. Because what Errol Spence about to do to this man after all of this time and all of this waiting and how everybody lied and skewed and, you know, ran with all these stories and, you know, got high off of all of this clout. Man, Errol just showed you how stubborn it is when he really want to do something. And to boot, he's doing it with Derrick James, a coach that's about to make history and have 2 undisputed champions in concurrent weight classes at the same time. He could have got it last year, and he just acquired another guy in Garcia to add to the stable with Frank Martin, the undisputed champion 54, Jamel Charlo, and the heavyweight former champion AJ. Man, I had a segment that I'm gonna do called "If Winning Was a Person," because I think Derrick James is finally getting all of the salutes that he's getting. But that just speaks to the guy that he has in his corner, the one that's telling him the strategy. And we got Bomac on the other side. If we look at the fighters that they have, both sides, and the new cream of crop, because you do have the Keyshawn Davises. So it's a storm brewing with the 2 kings on this chessboard. Finally locked it in, and we got a date. So I wanted to speak on it. I wanted to let the Bud fans know that I do have the Bud fans protection plan. I hope you are in good hands. I hope you're covered, because it's going to be man down.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay as even keel as I possibly can for your listeners, because your listeners is important, and I'm going to try to be as even keel as I possibly can, but I am rooting for Errol, because I just believe Errol is the more durable, stronger warrior at 147, but I'm not going to try to disenchant the Bud fans, you know what I mean? Because after all, he is a champion. So I got to give him, his credit where his credit is due. But I do believe in a war with Errol. I do believe he will be the first to suffer battle fatigue. And I do believe in a hard fight, Errol gonna find a way to hurt him.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bud go against anybody of this caliber, and it's much like a lot of the praise that Devin Haney get for doing what he's done, and I understand being undisputed and all of that, but at the end of the day, I know when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, I'm not ashamed to say that season we did not have a good strength of schedule. However, in the big moments where it really counted, we dug down. We was able to beat Tom Brady and them. So I know that strength of schedule is important, but I will admit, yeah, we won the chip, but that year we didn't have the biggest strength of schedule. I believe that it's a matter of one thing that CompuBox does not have is they have percentages of what your opponent was able to do or not being able to do to you, but they don't have anything that gives you a barometer of the level of competition that you have faced. And I believe that in this fight, even though I have Bud in my Boxes to Watch collection, he is the closer. He will seal the deal. If he smells blood and gets you hurt, a la how Ugas got that shot off, he will not hesitate to pounce on you and get it over with. I know that that's a real live threat. Only thing that I say to my fans, and I do a fair assessment, but it is what it is. I have to look at the level of competition, and a lot of the credit to the fighters that he gets credit for actually having beat in Kell Brook and in Sean Porter is much like how T.O. got no credit when he beat Lomachenko, and now Devin wants to get all the credit right now, and we're saying, hold up, wait, stop, wait a second. That is a factor when you're fighting people 2 and 3 years after the fact. I have to take that in consideration. I have to take in consideration that Kell Brook got down on one knee and said, don't hit me no more. Bud didn't even get it. Bud slapped him to sleep, but he said, don't hit me no more. That, to me, that's a whole nother. That's like, I don't even want to even give you an opportunity to do that, man. I'm just going to go ahead and take a knee. We do that in football. We don't do that in boxing. So that's what I see. I'm a little hype. I'm glad that the news finally was delivered, man. I just wanted to get your take on it. But we're going to do a real in-depth analysis the way we do all of our conversations. I just had to do this, you know, a service because the boxing guys, you know what I'm saying? They gave us, you know, like this year's been a good year. Wouldn't you say?
Right. But you know what, man? Carl Brook, he was damaged goods after Triple G. He never should have fought Triple G.
Yeah, I don't like getting into that because then you start moving away, like, cause I mean nobody want to say that the same Sean Porter was, you know, nobody want to admit that either. So he was damaged goods by having 1 foot in the retirement and 1 foot out, you know. So the main thing is this: we get in the fight. We done talked about it. We'll do a good, solid, in-depth analysis, man. I just wanted to break the news and get a fight because this is what we've been wanting, man. This has been a stigma over all other boxing conversations. So I had to give it a little taste, a little nip. And I'm gonna go back and break some things down because I want to look at them CompuBox wise side by side. I did it a couple years ago when Spence and Ugas and Crawford was. That one got a lot of views. It was like, I think like 3,000, 5,000 views, something like that. When I said perception versus reality about them two. So I am going to get in depth with it, but I really wanted to talk to you and break this news. The Inouye and Fulton fight is on the 24th, and this is on the 29th.
Yeah, so, you know, we got these fights back to back.
Back to back. I just wanted to drop that in your lap, though. I ain't want to hold you, man. I know it's a little later than when we normally talk, but I just wanted to get this out the way.
Okay, no problem.
All right, then. Well, I'll holler at you.
Yes, sir. You take it.
Yep, that was my old head A.K.A. And for these Bud fans, man, I have a Bud fan protection plan. And I believe that you need to get them while they hot. You know, I just had to celebrate the news. You know what I'm saying? I think that since it's official tissue, had to put a little, you know what I'm saying, a little something, you know, and just say salute to the boxing guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Here at BodyWorkBoxing. We don't take things for face value. We do that body.